So, you got an email from ACENET with a user ID and a password. You had a look at the user guide, like we suggested, and since you've got a Windows computer, you downloaded and installed MobaXterm, like we suggested. Your next thing to do is to log in and change your password, like we asked you to do in the email right here. So let's start up MobaXterm. It only takes a few seconds, even on this old laptop of mine. From here, what you want is you want new session right there, and then SSH, because SSH is the protocol we use to keep communications secure. You need to fill in the remote host field. And what you can fill in there is the name of any one of our servers. Let's use fundy.acenet.ca because that's easy to spell, fundy.ace-net.ca. And then optionally you can specify the username, which is convenient, so why don't you do that and fill in the username that we sent you as well. And then you hit OK. And then it will ask you for a password. Now, the easiest thing to do here is to copy the password from the email we sent you because it's a random string of letters and numbers and it might be tricky to type it, especially if it contains funny characters like L's, ones, I's, O's, zeros. And you can paste it into MobaXterm with a right click and paste. And nothing will show up. Don't let this fool you. It's not going to show you what the password is so that some evildoer can't look over your shoulder and steal your password. And since it doesn't show up, some people get startled and try and paste twice or 3 times. Don't do that. You've pasted once, just hit enter. And if all that went well, it should show you a little bit of verbiage here. This thing we call the message of the day, or MOTD, although honestly it does not change as often as every day. And then down here at the bottom is some stuff that we call the prompt, or the shell prompt. Now the next thing that we asked you to do in the email was to change your password, and you do that by typing PASSWD. Enter, and it asks you for login LDAP password. That may not make any sense necessarily to you. All it wants is the password that you just used to log in. So make sure you've still got that properly copied. Paste it in again, hit enter again, and it asks you for a new one. At this point you can type in some new password that is easy to remember and that has never appeared in an email and is therefore not insecure. I'll make up a new password. It's going to ask me to type it twice to make sure that I can type properly even when I can't see the letters. And if that succeeds, it says LDAP password information changed, blah blah blah, successfully. So that's all great. And there, you've now logged into one of our clusters successfully. You can log out by going exit or log out if you prefer. Enter, and there you're disconnected. You can then close MobaXterm with the red exit button up here, or the familiar red X in the corner. Although I'll point out one more thing before we go, which is that MobaXterm has remembered which cluster you've logged into and put it in the saved sessions box. It doesn't remember your password, that would be insecure, but it does remember what clusters you've logged into. So next time you open MobaXterm, you don't have to do new session. If you want to go back to the same server, you can just double click here and it will open a new session and ask you for your password again. There you go. Exit or log out. You're done. Close MobaXterm, and you're done.